Good morning. Every place has a story, and today we're somewhere in Phuket waiting to see what the day has in store for us. I headed towards the beach through the shaded area that runs between the road and the sand. This is one of the things that gives Nayang a different feel from many of Phuket's beaches. The trees create a natural canopy, and during the hottest parts of the day, this becomes one of the busiest parts of the beachfront. There are restaurants, small food stalls, and places to sit in the shade, even though many of them are set up on public land along the beach. What caught my attention wasn't just the number of businesses, it was that they were operating and people were using them. For a low season morning, that immediately made me wonder whether Nayang was telling a different story from some of the other areas I've recently visited. Swadika.
สวัสดีค่ะ
As I reached the beach, the first thing I noticed was the number of people already here. This wasn't the kind of scene I normally associate with Phuket in low season. The beach wasn't packed, but it definitely wasn't empty either. There were people swimming, walking along the sand, relaxing under the trees, and the restaurants behind the beach were beginning to fill up. What makes Nayang interesting is that it feels different from places like Patong or Kata. It doesn't have the same big resort atmosphere, but it has something else. A more relaxed beach community that still seems to attract a steady flow of visitors. Walking along the beach, it felt less like a beach waiting for tourists to return and more like a place that was already finding its own rhythm. Well, as you can see, there are quite a few people on the beach today, which is the 6th of August, middle of the year, low season here in Phuket, and a lot busier than I was expecting. Leaving the beach, I wanted to see whether the activity I'd noticed on the sand continued into the rest of Nha Yang. The beach can sometimes give a misleading impression, so the real test is what happens once you step away from the shoreline. Almost immediately I came across a large development that looked like it could be a hotel or condominium complex. Whatever it is, it's a reminder that this area has been growing steadily over the years. As I reached the main street, the picture became a little clearer.
Good morning สวัสดีครับ
There were small hotels, convenience stores, restaurants, massage shops, bars, and plenty of businesses open for customers. Not every restaurant was busy, but the area didn't feel empty either. There was movement, people walking around, scooters coming and going, and a level of activity that felt stronger than I expected for this time of year. What I like about Nha Yang is it still feels like a seaside town rather than a major tourist centre. Everything is within walking distance and the beach is never very far away.
Good morning
The further I walked, the more that feeling continued. Near the back of the beach, local food vendors were setting up under the trees, putting out chairs and tables behind their cooking carts. It wasn't a formal food court or a busy night market. It was a simple local gathering place where people could sit in the shade, eat something, have a drink and spend some time by the beach. That's the point where I started thinking that maybe the beach wasn't the exception. Maybe this is just how Nha Trang works. Even in low season, it feels like a place that still has a steady heartbeat. Well, I have to say, Nha Trang feels like a proper seaside town here in Phuket. It gives me the feeling that Kata used to give me 15 years ago when I first started visiting Phuket. Kata now has become very overdeveloped in my opinion, but this feels more like a seaside town. You can see there's a nice area here breaking the beach line with trees giving some shade, and along there are plenty of places to enjoy something to eat and drink. So, is Nha Trang Phuket's new low season hotspot? Well, I think it's probably too early to call it that, but after spending some time walking around here today, I can certainly understand why people are coming to Nha Trang. The beach was busy without feeling overcrowded. The little town behind it was still active, and there's a really nice sense of community around the beach itself. And perhaps the thing I like most is that it still feels like a seaside town, rather than somewhere that has been completely taken over by development. Whether that changes in the future, of course, is another question, but for now, Nha Trang has definitely surprised me. And if this is what Nha Trang is like in the middle of Phuket's low season, I think it's a place worth keeping an eye on. That's the story from today. There's another corner of Phuket waiting to be explored, and I think you'll enjoy that one even more. So keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next story.